So it is a Transformer Tuesday today. We got some brand new reveals from Hasbro, and it looks like we're going to have to do two separate segments here to talk about this because they revealed 6 different figures to us. Now, granted, one of them is kind of not a surprise because of scumbag stolen toys, but the rest of them are brand new to us and it's pretty hype stuff. So let's jump into these. We're going to start first with the deluxes, and the second segment will handle the Voyagers and the brand new core class system. But man, these look really good. I was really excited about these, and one of my boys from the mini bot crew finally got a new epic toy in a deluxe class, no less, which is a first for him. This is some awesome stuff. Let's do this. Let's jump into it. So these are all Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee movie figures. They are based from that first scene in the beginning of the movie, essentially that Cybertronian battle that it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing for some of those characters. All of these characters, unfortunately, didn't have their alt modes on display, so all of these for us are the first time we're seeing these alt modes for these characters too, which is a big deal. But man, oh man, this is really cool. Let's start with the one that's probably the least surprising because we already saw it, which is that of the Deluxe Class Studio Series Bumblebee Wheeljack. Now, I know a lot of people, when we saw our buzzworthy Bumblebee Origins Bumblebee, we were like, man, when are we going to get our Cybertronian Wheeljack? And while this isn't that Cybertronian Wheeljack, the G1 version that opened up into a more van kind of design that carried Bumblebee, I feel like this is the next best thing. And I think he looks fantastic. He looks really good. He still has that sports car Lancia kind of look to him. Transformation looks really nice. I like it a lot. I like the gun that he comes with, really harkens back to that kind of G1 aesthetic. He's just missing the shoulder cannons, and he literally is, in a lot of ways, channeling that G1 Wheeljack from something that's amazing to say within that of the movie universe aesthetic. So it's so cool to see movie universe aesthetic figures that really pull to that G1 aesthetic, not just in the robot modes, which we already saw from the Bumblebee movie, but even in the alt modes. The alt modes are very true to that, and I loved just the faux chest on the Wheeljack, how yet we have the front of the car, but yet they figured out a way to kind of make it have that semi-faux chest design, even though it's the top of the vehicle. I like what they did here. Looks really good. Wheeljack is stellar. Now, the only question is, and I keep bringing this up, but it's true, what's the story now with Q and Wheeljack? Is this a separate character? Are there going to be some kind of retcon explanation? It's one of those weird kind of things in the unfortunate way of the writing that was the live-action universe. Maybe we'll see. We'll see one day in the future. Maybe we'll learn more. I know Rise of the Beast creates even more questions when you look at some of the cast with that one, but that's a whole other discussion for another day. Next up, let's talk about Ratchet. Ratchet looks fantastic too. I love the alt mode that they gave him. It reminds me so much out of something you would have seen out of like the James Cameron Aliens movie. Like it just has that kind of industrial design and very like futuristic kind of look of like how the tanks were in those movies, that sequel to the Alien franchise. So I think it looks amazing. I love how Ratchet looks in robot mode. Again, pretty awesome big gun that he comes with. Just looks incredible. Just looks absolutely incredible. I'm so surprised how well these have turned out. But then again, Studio Series, even in the deluxe class, has a little bit more budget to wiggle with, and as a result, they can make some really incredible figures. Now, the question is, especially with the fact that it's a Ratchet, chances are we're probably looking at more or less how they're going to tackle an Ironhide if they do decide to go about it. If I was a betting man, if you were a betting man, if we were all betting mans, we're looking probably in more or less some shape or form our Ironhide in the near future. So pretty awesome stuff. I really like how this one turned out. It's very interesting. And my favorite of the bunch, because my boy Brawn, I just love Brawn. And Brawn has had a weird toy history from the very beginning. And it's nice to get something that's in the deluxe class price point that is really based on that Generation 1 kind of design with that head of his. I just love everything about it. In fact, I even love just the way that they did the alt mode. Like it's so unassuming how it's done. It looks like he has the two wheels in the front in almost some kind of pseudo, I don't know, like it looks like a motorcycle, a futuristic motorcycle, but it isn't. It really is some kind of small vehicle with some kind of like drill, weapon on the front. Does it turn when you move the figure forward? I don't know. I just love it though. Makes him like some kind of digger character, which is a nice extra like nod to the G1 character's history. I love it. I love the boots, like just the sculpting of his feet and how he has like these like industrial boots and everything. He's out of the three thus far, easily the one that I'm looking forward to picking up the most. And just to get a Cybertronian version of this character is so cool. It's so cool. I hope he didn't, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the Bumblebee movie, but I hope he didn't die because he got hit and then he went down. But supposedly he was seen later. If you blink, if you squint your eyes, he's up and running again. So I hope he doesn't die also in this movie, like a certain other movie where he also got hit in the shoulder. It's becoming a meme with him now, poor guy. I love Brawn. I think it looks fantastic. These look really, really good. Now, according to Hasbro, this was all via their Instagram. So this is all going to be stuff for the Studio Series Wave 1 characters of 2022. So it sounds like they're doing, I guess, a wave reset where, I guess maybe because up to this point with Studio Series, we're pretty much like up to like wave like 13 and 14 among the deluxes and the Voyagers. So I guess for 2022, they're going to start the waves back at 1 again, if this is what they're saying. We don't know, but it is an interesting thing. I'm curious how they're going to list it, and then of course with the assortment numbers and stuff, and then of course us who document everything like we do in the Transformer world, like here at the podcast, we'll just see how it goes down, and it'll help give us a better indication of how things will go. But if this is like a new Wave 1 kind of thing, that is exciting because that means for retailers, they're going to see it as new Wave 1 product and will order way more than they normally do if it was, say, like something in a much later wave. Very interesting. And the next part will also probably indicate even more so of its Wave 1 lineage because of new packaging and a new product. And tell you, these guys ain't losers.